There's a cockroach named Carl. He survived a shoe, a broom, and a hungry spider. But tonight, he faces a foe unlike any other. An assassin bug. A killer that wears its victims' corpses as camouflage. This is the story of their epic encounter, and it will change how you see the tiny world beneath your fridge. You already met Carl, the cockroach who's outrun every threat your kitchen has thrown at him. But to understand what he's up against, you need to know just how tough his kind really are. Cockroaches are ancient survivors, walking the earth for 300 million years, long before dinosaurs ever took their first step. They've outlasted ice ages, mass extinctions, and millions of years of hungry predators. You've probably heard the myth they can live without their head, and it's not a myth, it's true. They can survive a full week decapitated thanks to an open circulatory system that doesn't rely on a head to pump blood, and tiny holes called spiracles along every body segment that let them breathe without a nose or mouth. A headless cockroach only dies eventually because it can't drink water, not because it can't function. Now meet the other side of this showdown, the assassin bug. There are over 7,000 known species of assassin bug across the globe, and every single one is a built ambush hunter. Many species secrete a thick, sticky glue from glands on their front legs, coating the surface like natural flypaper. When prey gets close, those legs snap shut, and the glue holds so tight, even the strongest insect can't wiggle free. Some species, like the one Carl is about to face, even stack the drained corpses of their past kills on their back to hide from both predators and the next meal they're stalking. You might think Carl's best shot is his hard exoskeleton, but his real superpower is speed. A common cockroach can run 50 body lengths every second. To put that in perspective, that's like a human running over 200 miles an hour. He doesn't just rely on his eyes to spot danger either. Two tiny hair-covered appendages on his rear end called cerci act like motion sensors, picking up even the smallest shifts in air current. A single faint puff of wind triggers an instant escape response, sending him darting in the opposite direction before his brain even fully processes the threat. That's how he outran the spider, and the broom, and the shoe. But the assassin bug has a weapon no broom or spider can match. Tucked under its head is a sharp, segmented beak called a rostrum, usually folded flat against its body until it's time to strike. When the bug gets a hold of its prey, it drives that beak through the exoskeleton like a hypodermic needle, injecting a powerful venom. That venom does two jobs at once. It instantly paralyzes the victim so it can't fight back, and it starts liquefying every soft tissue inside the hard outer shell. The assassin bug then just sucks up the resulting slurry, leaving nothing but an empty husk behind. So now you know what each fighter brings to the kitchen floor. Carl has 300 million years of survival evolution on his side, with speed and motion sensors that let him outrun almost every threat. The assassin bug has stealth, sticky, grappling legs, and a venom that can turn its prey's insides to soup in seconds. You're probably already wondering which of these two tiny warriors walks away when their paths cross. But before we answer that, let's see what happens when they finally meet. It's 2 a.m. in a dimly lit suburban kitchen, the only light seeping under the door from a hallway nightlight. A single golden bread crumb sits dead center on the linoleum floor, dropped hours earlier by a kid rushing off to bed. It's not much, but for a hungry cockroach, it's a full-course meal. The cockroach creeps around the edge of a lower cabinet, its two long antennae waving nonstop, sweeping back and forth like tiny radar dishes. Those antennae don't just smell the air, they taste it, picking up the faintest hint of wheat and yeast from the crumb 10 inches away. It moves slow at first, one tiny leg after another, testing every patch of floor for vibrations, for the faint echo of a predator waiting in the dark. 10 inches away, pressed flat against the shadowed side of the same cabinet, an assassin bug lurks completely motionless. It hasn't moved a muscle in 3 full minutes. Its long, narrow body blends so perfectly with the dark brown wood grain it might as well be part of the cabinet itself. Its big, bulging compound eyes are locked straight ahead, picking up every tiny shift in light, even in this near darkness. It doesn't need to smell prey or feel vibrations, it just needs to see movement, and it can spot a twitch smaller than the width of a human hair from a foot away. The cockroach gets within 2 inches of the breadcrumb and it pauses. It didn't see the assassin bug. It didn't hear it. But something is off. A tiny shift in the air current. A faint, unfamiliar chemical trace its antennae picked up for a split second. It freezes completely. Every leg locked in place, its body held high off the floor as if it can lift itself out of danger just by getting a little more clearance. For 3 long silent seconds, nothing moves. Not the cockroach, not the assassin bug, not even a dust mote drifting through the faint strip of hallway light. Then the cockroach explodes into motion. It doesn't run straight. It doesn't run in a curve. It bursts into a rapid, jagged zigzag sprint, darting left, then right, then left again, so fast it's almost a blur. This isn't random panic. This is a classic evasive maneuver honed over 300 million years of evolution, designed to throw off any predator that relies on sight to track its target. It can change direction in less than 1/100th of a second, and it hits speeds of nearly 3 miles an hour. For a bug barely an inch long, that's the equivalent of a human running over 200 miles an hour. The assassin bug doesn't hesitate for a second. As soon as the cockroach moves, it launches. It extends its long, spiny front legs forward, and those legs aren't just sharp, they're coated in a thin, super sticky resin the bug secretes from tiny glands along its thighs. It lunges straight for where the cockroach was a split second earlier, but the cockroach's first zigzag takes it just out of reach of those grasping legs. The assassin's legs snap shut on empty air, and for a split second, it looks like the cockroach is going to escape, that it's already too far away to catch. But the assassin bug doesn't just rely on its sticky legs. Tucked under its head, curled tight like a folded knife, is its rostrum, a sharp, hollow, needle-like beak it uses to inject its venom. As the cockroach springs away, the assassin twists its upper body mid-lunge, and that sharp beak flicks out in a quick, precise jab. It's a fraction of an inch short of the cockroach's soft underbelly, but it makes contact with the very tip of the cockroach's back left leg, the one it just pushed off with, to make its last zigzag. You might think that's a miss, that the cockroach got away clean. You might be leaning in right now, thinking the cockroach's speed and trickster zigzag won this round, that it's already darting back into the wall crack to safety, and you'd be almost right. But that tiny scratch from the rostrum isn't nothing. The question is, can the cockroach outrun the venom that just got into its system, or will the assassin's long-range jab be enough to bring it down? The answer lies in the cockroach's most surprising superpower. You already know cockroaches are tough, but this is on another level. Their nervous system is not centered in one tiny brain like yours or mine. Instead, they have clusters of nerve cells called ganglia running all down their body, each one controlling the section of legs and muscles closest to it. If you destroy a cockroach's head, it can still walk, react to touch, and even flip itself back over if it gets stuck on its back. That's not a myth. That's basic cockroach anatomy, and it's the exact superpower that makes the assassin bug's venom work a lot harder than it does against most prey. Assassin bug venom is designed to hijack a nervous system fast. It locks onto nerve cell receptors, blocks the signals that control movement, and turns a struggling victim into a sitting duck in seconds. For a fly or a small beetle, one jab is lights out before they even know what hit them. But the cockroach's distributed ganglia mean the venom can't just take out one command center and call it a day. It has to flood every individual nerve cluster along the roach's body to shut it all down. Even a lethal dose won't stop the roach from thrashing, kicking, and scrambling for escape while the venom spreads. That's why you'll see a stung cockroach still running full tilt for 10, even 20 seconds after getting jabbed, like nothing is wrong at all. That thrashing is not just for show. The assassin bug has to hold on tight through every twist and jerk, or it loses its meal entirely. Its front legs are coated in tiny sticky pads that grip the roach's smooth exoskeleton like glue, but even those have their limits. If the cockroach twists at just the right angle, or slams its body into a wall or a crumb pile hard enough, it can tear itself free. A lot of these encounters end with the cockroach escaping, leaving behind only a twitching leg or a broken antenna as a souvenir for the frustrated assassin. That might sound like a bad deal for the roach, but losing one limb is nothing compared to being eaten alive. Cockroaches can regrow limbs over their next few molties, so that's a trade they will take every single time. In this specific kitchen showdown though, the assassin bug has a perfect grip. Its sticky pads are locked onto the roach's middle back, right where the roach can't reach it with its spiny back legs or twist its body hard enough to break free. It's holding on through every kick, every sudden dart into a pile of cereal crumbs, every attempt to squeeze under a cabinet edge, and it's pumping the full load of venom through its rostrum, not just the quick, partial jab it managed at the start. You can see the cockroach's movements start to slow, first in its back legs, then its middle legs go wobbly, and it can't steer straight anymore. It stumbles in a slow circle, antennae still twitching, still trying to find the crack in the wall that means safety. But the venom has reached every ganglion by now, and one by one, each section of its body locks up. Within 30 seconds, it's barely moving. Its antennae twitch once more, then go still. You might think that's the end of the fight, that the assassin bug has won clean, and the cockroach's superpower wasn't enough to save it. Not quite, because the cockroach has one more trick that might just turn the tables. You already saw this cockroach get caught off guard, and in that case, the assassin bug's rostrum did find its mark. And yes, in that exact scenario, the battle was basically over the second venom got into its system. But that's not the end of the story, because the cockroach has evolved tricks that change the odds completely when the fight doesn't start with a surprise ambush. First, that question you've had since the start, does the cockroach even stand a chance in a fair fight? The answer is yes, more often than you think. Remember when I teased that the assassin bug doesn't always win? That's where the cockroach's secret weapons come in. Cockroaches are relentless groomers, and it's not just for show. When an assassin bug brushes against them, or even lands a partial sting that doesn't hit a critical spot, the roach immediately starts raking its legs and mouth parts over every inch of its body. Its saliva is packed with powerful antimicrobial compounds, and those same compounds can break down and neutralize small amounts of assassin bug venom before it spreads. It's like having a built-in first aid kit that it can deploy in seconds. Even that backup trick doesn't save the cockroach every time though. Most of the time the cockroach doesn't even need to use it. Those tiny sensory hairs you heard about earlier, they pick up the assassin bug's footsteps, its breath, even the tiny shift in air current when the bug lunges faster than your eye can blink. The cockroach can change direction in a fraction of a second, hit speeds of nearly 3 miles an hour, and bolt for the nearest crack before the assassin bug can drive its rostrum deep enough to deliver a full venom dose. That's not a lucky escape. That's a survival strategy refined over hundreds of millions of years. Let's recap this whole showdown to make the math clear. On the assassin bug side, you've got a precision stabbing rostrum that can slip between armored plates, a neurotoxic venom that locks up muscles in seconds, and a stealthy hunting style that lets it sneak up on prey that's tuned into every tiny movement. On the cockroach side, you've got lightning fast reflexes, a hard exoskeleton that blocks most stings, those super sensitive hairs that act as an early warning system, and that grooming behavior that can neutralize venom if it gets a partial hit. Each of these is an absolute marvel of evolution, shaped by millions of years of this exact hidden battle playing out in kitchens, basements, and leaf litter all over the world. The real lesson here isn't which one is better. It's that nature is full of these hyper-specialized predators and prey locked in a tiny hidden arms race that most people never even notice. Every time the assassin bug gets a little faster or its venom gets a little stronger, the cockroaches that survive pass down even sharper reflexes, even better grooming instincts, even tougher exoskeletons. Neither side ever wins the long game. They just keep evolving right under our noses. But the insect world is full of even crazier battles. Subscribe and hit the bell to catch them all.